Hi. I've talked about my musical toolbox. What does that mean? What is a toolbox? It holds tools to accomplish a task, to work on things. My musical toolbox consists of tools that I use to work on my music. What are those tools? Guitars are a big part of my toolbox. I'll include a better family portrait of that. Flutes consist of the next larger part of my musical toolbox. And the flutes, for the most part, replace vocals in most cases for me. I have the Rav drums, and I was given this keyboard. It's a real basic Casio CTK 573. The piano sound isn't spectacular. So I found this after doing a little bit of research on Facebook Marketplace. It is the Alesis Recital 88 key. Beautiful piano sounds, and I've recorded with it. It also, I found out, has one decent synthesizer sound that I use, or I have used, I think, twice in my recordings. So why am I talking about this now? My musical toolbox, as you've seen so far, mainly consists of physical, actual instruments that I play. I start a track on my Digital Audio Workstation, or DAW. I start a track. I might create drums. Those, sometimes I'll play physical drums live. I've gotten rid of my drum kit quite a while back, so I don't have that to play. So on some of my more upbeat things, I will quite often create a drum kit in my DAW and play to that. I love more upbeat songs, as most of you know. I am doing quite a few less upbeat songs to satisfy those of you that like the more mellow stuff. And I've also adapted my guitar playing to cover some of my more ambient type of music. That has been fun. But the one thing that I have not looked at before was utilizing a lot of things that are already built into a lot of DAWs, and or some kind of a different tool. And that's what I ordered. Here we go. Howdy. How are you doing? Take care. So, FedEx delivered my package of my musical tool. Came from Sweetwater, so I have a little pack of candy here. And a lot of foam. There's another box inside. And, as you can see here, as is my normal practice, whenever I can save a little bit and get a better value, or just save money because I don't like to spend a lot, I try and do that. And so when I was looking for a new tool, I had found one that I was thinking about from Facebook Marketplace, from M Audio. And I started to do a little bit of research after I had made an appointment to meet with them and try it out. But I did a little bit more research, and in doing that research, I had discovered something that I was not aware of at the time. It was still from M Audio, and this is the M Audio Oxygen Pro 49. And what those people had was a brand new, never used M Audio Oxygen, I think Pro, Mini, I want to say 32, I'm not sure if that's correct. A little bit smaller, mini keys. Big difference between the one with the mini keys and the full-size keys is not the size of the keys. I wasn't that concerned with that, other than the fact that I have short, non-skinny fingers. So the bigger keys would make it easier for me to hit those notes. I'm not a keyboard player. This isn't a keyboard exactly, This is a Midi controller. What does that mean? Midi, and I'll put down in the description box below this video, I will put the definition of that because I can't recall it right off the top of my head. But Midi is a way of referring to files that can be utilized in creating music. Almost any kind of a musical instrument sound can typically be found in MIDI files. This MIDI controller, you can play those sounds, and it could be a drum, it could be some kind of a keyboard, a synthesizer, piano, organ, etc. You could be playing wind instruments on this, violin, strings, guitars, all kinds of musical sounds can be activated using this. If everything works out correctly, the reason I went with M Audio is because it was the only one that I could find that I saw specifying that it could be utilized with GarageBand. What does that mean? This not only has keys, but it has all of these other controls. These pads, you can play drums, you can do other sounds also, but you can physically play drums with your fingers. It has right here controls that will hopefully run the DAW of GarageBand. Record. Punch that little button and you shouldn't have to touch your computer keyboard. Record. Play. Stop. So on and so forth. There's also some other things on here that has to do with tempo, different edit things, select what kind of DAW you want, things like that. There's a little screen right here that will give you a little bit of information also, but you're mainly looking at your computer. This has no sounds built in. I believe it has programs with plugins that can be accessed with sounds, besides the sounds that are already in GarageBand. So it has other sounds that can be accessed also. Sliders. These controls do numerous other things. I have a lot of learning to do. And the first thing we're going to do is to hook it up and see if it will talk to GarageBand. Stay tuned. So I plugged in the USB cable to the adapter for my new MacBook Pro that doesn't have USB. It uses the little C plugs. Things lit up, and this little keyboard setup assistant happened after I told the computer that yes, I wanted to allow this to work on my computer. Now I'm going to click on Continue. Identifying your keyboard. Press the key immediately to the right of the Shift key on the left side of the keyboard. You have pressed a key on your Apple keyboard. Please press the keys on the keyboard that can't be identified. So I'm going to try to do something different here. Put this up to a different port on the computer. Continue. Okay, so I've done a couple of things. I opened up GarageBand. I went into the DAW menu and I selected GarageBand here. Some of the things that it is asking for, I went and looked, and it doesn't have the most current operating system from Apple as an option from M Audio to upgrade. But it is playing, it's playing a classic electric piano sound right now, available through GarageBand and the DAW. If I change that, let me try one thing. So as I move this slider, it is moving over here. So that seems to be working fine. Global. It's not what I was looking for. I'm going to have to learn what all of these things do, because I just don't know. Some things, I push the little button here for chords. So now instead of a single note, it's playing a chord, which is probably based on C major scale, because that's what my DAW was set for. Cool. You can do octave up and down. And I don't know what that is doing right now. Anyway, I have a lot of learning to do. So I was able to get things dialed in. It does work with GarageBand, maybe not optimally, because M Audio does not have the most current operating system from Apple listed to upgrade, but all of the controls are affecting the DAW here as I turn them. Let's see here. So this one is turning the pan right now. So they're working, I think, the way they should, but I need to learn all of the buttons and knobs and dials and things like that on here. Why did I want to go this route? Because this keyboard does not play anything, any sounds on its own. No sounds are built into here. I'm going to be visiting M Audio and seeing what sounds I can download. That'll be kind of my next step. But what I've got right now is a controller for my DAW that will access different sounds on here. For example, if I wanted to use a different kind of keyboard, this is a vintage clav. Or let's go to arpeggiator, a synth chords, let's say. Emotive melodies. Modulation is accessible. There's a bunch of different sounds in here that are already available to me, and I think I can download more through M Audio. Thank you for tuning in today. MIDI files, MIDI, to be able to access MIDI files and sounds more easily with a controller is something that I have not investigated up to now. But this is beyond the basics in the form of a MIDI controller. I didn't want the super basics, I wanted something that I can grow with. This has what's called aftertouch. Notice what happened when I pushed harder. So it adds like a modulation in this case, which is something that is not available on most MIDI controllers, even at this price range. I did get a discount because I bought a demo unit. And that's me. I look for value. And when I can get a little bit more for my money or spend less to get the same thing, I will take that option anytime. This has a full warranty. I don't have to worry about that, even though it is a demo unit. It looked brand new. Yes, it was opened. The little seals were broken or tape was cut. But everything looks brand new. Everything seems to be operating great. And I'm looking forward to going on a little bit of an adventure, learning some new stuff. You can always teach an old dog a new trick, is what I'm learning. So this little old dog is going to be on an adventure learning something new. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed my taking a first look at my M Audio Oxygen Pro 49 MIDI controller. And I hope you will enjoy hearing what I am able to create in the future with this. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Click the little bell down over there so that you can be notified the next time I do a video. It could be a music video where the Native American flute kind of takes the center spotlight, but it could be played with many other types of instruments and other sounds as well. Could be tutorial on how to play the Native American style flute. Simple, one of the easiest melodical instruments in the world to be able to learn in its basic form. You can go beyond that if you so choose, and that would be looking at some of my beyond the basic tutorials. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you, and take care.